allowed to be on that runway. Tom Costello is at Reagan National Airport with the newest information.
Good day. The NTSB chief says that this appears to have been a case in Chicago at Midway Airport where the business jet pilot did not obey air traffic control instructions to hold, instead proceeding right across a runway that Southwest plane was about to land on. And those two pilots in the Southwest plane are being hailed right now as heroes for actually very quickly hitting the gas, if you will, and going up and around and missing that private jet that had crossed the runway right in front of them. It comes after a series of close calls, disasters, and crashes nationwide, including here at Reagan Airport. 67 people killed with that mid-air crash involving a regional jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter. We also had the crash off Nome, Alaska. 10 people killed with that small commuter airline crash in the ice there. We had a medevac crash in Northeast Philadelphia, 7 people killed there. And then in Toronto, of course, that horrific crash landing in which the plane caught fire and flipped over. Amazingly, nobody killed, but more than 24 suffered some form of injury. The NTSB and the FAA investigating every one of these in coordination, of course, with Canadian authorities. So far, there does not seem to be anything that ties all of them together. Instead, this seems to be a series of unrelated aviation incidents, really a coincidence that after 16 years of no deaths involving commercial aviation, we've had the string, but right now the concern and the focus is on what happened at Midway Airport on Tuesday, in which that private small business jet crashed right in front of the Southwest plane. Thankfully, those Southwest pilots managed to pull up and get out of the way and save the day. It very often comes down to pilots acting very quickly. Back to you.
And what a close call. Well, the White House has announced that going forward, the administration will now decide which news outlets get access to the president. Before this announcement, an independent group of journalists was responsible for choosing who was part of the White House media pool. This comes after a federal judge declined to temporarily restore the Associated Press's access from White House media events. The AP was banned over its decision to continue using the term Gulf of Mexico after President Trump renamed it the Gulf of America. We spoke with a professor of political science at the University of Southern California, USC, about the impact this announcement could have.
I do think there's a potential for this really going against our freedom of the press that we've taken for granted, and the ability for the public to see and hear what the president is doing. This could be a problem in the future if we don't have access to information. Students aren't going to learn what happened. Even when presidents aren't covered positively, in the long run, the historical record actually helps provide a lot of information. And just kind of sanitizing the record is not going to doesn't leave a good historical legacy.
The judge's decision to deny the Associated Press's request for a temporary restraining order is not the end of the matter. A hearing is scheduled for March 20th on the AP's request for a preliminary injunction. The first measles death has been reported in the West Texas